it's Christine. It's time for a scrapbook process video. What am I trying to say? Layout, duh. Okay, so what I have here, I'm gonna see if I can show you this without knocking a bunch of stuff off. I have this thing I had saved on my Instagram. It's from December 2021, and it's by Zoa Barker Designs. I don't know if she's a designer or something like that, but she said she made it 10 years ago. This is a layout she made 10 years ago, so it's 2011. So you can kind of get the sense it is, you got those flowers that we all used to use back in the day. But she's like, her comment was, I really like the simplicity, and I tend to agree. I think this is neat. And I love the concept of 10 random things, about her. And so that's what I'm kind of capturing from. I'm going to use a layout too, like in a sense from an inspiration standpoint. But my point is I kind of wanted to do like a 10 random things about me because, we never scrapbook ourselves really. So I'm going to do that today. So what I have is a Scrap Room Flavors of the Month. I believe this might have been April. It was either March or April because it reminded me of Easter. There was Eastery stuff, I think, kind of with this set. So my apologies. It's either March or April. And I've used this side on another layout already, but I really like this little parquet wood floor. And then this floral is really pretty, but I'm going to use the blue. And I don't know if you remember, but the layout had this little set here. And then I'm going to mat it on this basil cardstock. I am not going to use this little diagonal strap. I really like it, but I'm going to set it aside because I know I'm going to see another layout that I want to use with it. So I'm going to set that aside for the moment. I say that. Give me 1 second here. Because what if I do this? No, that's going to take away from my parquet, so we're not going to do that. And then the picture is of me. I just took it. It's kind of weird filter looking thing on there, but I kind of liked it. I felt pretty. So we're going to have that. And then there's stickers that came with it. There's all these little random stickers, which I kind of like because it's random things, right? Random things about me. So then what I had to pull out of my stash, because I don't have a ton of this stuff left other than that little bit there. I did find this little like ledger paper. It was a Pebbles Country Picnic from 2011. So how ironic. It's from 10 years, but the year she did the layout. But I thought this looked really pretty. I think this peach kind of goes with these little peachy pieces, and it goes with this picture pretty good. So it's going to end up being, something like this. I don't know. And then I did get into my letters here, and I think I'm going to do the 10 and the me out of this like wood, because it kind of goes with this wood here, and I think that looks pretty. And I'm going to do random things out of this kind of greenish color, because I think it goes with this like little soft green there. And then I also pulled out, we'll see how this all plays out, because I really don't know yet. I did find this little word me in like an old Pink Fresh stuff here. Thought that might work. I do have some little wood frames I do not know yet. I did pull out some puffy stickers, which I like. And then I have a few buttons from some Hip Kit clubs that kind of might go. And then I pulled out this random Cartabella chipboard thing. There's some flowers and some other little things. So again, I don't really know about those yet, but I just want to give myself some options. I'm going to start with the stickers though, because that's part of the collection. So anyways, let me get to trimming and cutting and all the things real quick here, and I will come back on shortly. Talk soon. Okay, gang, so at this point, I have cut the little peachy journaling spot, and I have mounted my photo. I've taken a 1/4 inch off each side of the blue here, and I'm just going to put it on my cardstock. I'm not gutting the cardstock on purpose because I have tons of paper. So I'm leaving it alone as it is. Here's where I'm going to try to figure out the sizing on the angle and the sizing on this little journaling spot here. I'm just trying to make it look, just so, because it's supposed to go a little bit of a wonk. And then I'm going to kind of lay it on top of this little piece of parquet looking wood stuff. I did trim off probably an inch or so of that to narrow it up. And I'm trying to figure out now where that's going to fall on the page, because I need to tear the bottom. That's what she had done on the original inspiration layout, and I really like that technique. So I'm going to tear that bottom. And if y'all hear noises in the background, my family's in the kitchen and they're home. It's Sunday night. I'm doing this voiceover and they're kind of loud sometimes. So just ignore anything you hear in the background. Everybody's fine. Here's where I'm just kind of putting my layers together, and I'm just kind of assembling my little photo block here. And I did, a second ago, I was kind of measuring or kind of eyeballing where the title might go. So I was trying to figure out where this is going to go. And that's kind of where that ends up. And I honestly love this color combination. It's not something I would normally have picked. It's kind of this blue with a peach and the wood grain, and it's kind of different, and I really love it. All right, so here's where I'm going to start laying down the letters. I'm going to end up cutting away in just a minute, because I get down things and I think, well, y'all don't need to sit there and watch me spell out random and all that stuff. But I am making the kind of capitalization versus small letters kind of just be a little bit random. Although I think 1 or 2 of the letters I just didn't even have whatever size I was looking at, so I had to use the other one. But I think it looks kind of neat because I have this like again, it's this randomness to the title here. I will off camera also kind of narrow that up a little bit because it's a little too wide right now. So I narrowed it up, and I do kind of have my random font there. And then I've get my 10, and I'm going to do the me in just a second. And this was perfect. I actually loved how this looked. I'm not going to lie. I am really pleased with this layout. I really am. I was really excited about it. Considering the inspiration layout came from something 10 years ago, I think it's kind of neat. I've actually seen some people, I don't remember who it is now, they've been taking like old magazines, the old-timey, what was it, Creating Keepsakes maybe or something, and they're grabbing their like old magazines and taking layouts out of those magazines and kind of modernizing them. And I think that's a really neat trick. Kind of stretches your creative juices. Now on the original layout, she did also have a couple of horizontal strips. I don't think I pointed that out when I was showing y'all the layout, but it is there's little horizontal shelves in there. And I just got into my branding strip cups, y'all. I think the floral right there actually came from my Hip Kit Wild and Free kit. And then the other one I think was a winter one. I don't even really know. But the colors went, and I thought they looked pretty. I like that floral. And I'm just going to kind of attach those. I'm not going to go off camera. Y'all don't have to sit there and watch me. A little bit kind of coming back and forth on this because there's a few things I do that I go, this is kind of boring. They don't want to see all that. So I'm going to use my Nuvo glue here because I will tell you that there's no real sticky on those letters. I don't glue the me down yet because I haven't decided, but I do end up deciding I'm going to put foam up underneath those two letters so they kind of pop up off the page a little bit. And I like that, how that turns out. So now I'm kind of looking at my stuff, and I'm looking at my chipboard, and I decide to pull out this big floral because she did have those big flowers, if you remember, the old-timey flowers. I'm going to use this floral here, this little chipboard piece, and then I'm going to pull out, I don't think I get anything else off of that chipboard sheet, to be honest with you. I start pulling out the stickers, and this is where I do start pulling out just their little florals, and I stick them behind the chipboard flower, and I think this looks kind of pretty too. I start off with florals, and then I do go a little bit random because I'll end up pulling out the swan, and I'll pull out a camera, and I'm just kind of building out these clusters. Again, on the actual original inspiration layout, she really didn't have any other clusters, but I do end up with a visual triangle here. So I'll put that little floral down there, and then I think this is where I find the camera. I pulled that little peachy camera off of there. Oh, nope, I had to add one more thing over there. That's the swan. It had a little bit of a gap in there in the flower area, so I needed to cover up. And there's where I found the camera, and then I'm going to find, I think I put another flower up. I'm kind of messing with this me here. I'm going to pick it up and move it around. I'm actually going to putting something behind that, by the way. That doesn't stay like that by itself. But I'll find this little floral here and stick that up there. Now, that does kind of mess with me for just a second because I didn't really want it to just kind of float like that. Oh, here's where I find the little stamp to go behind the me. I just wanted to fill that out. It looked a little strange by itself. I do like the little me circle, but it was by itself and it looked kind of weird. So I'm going to kind of mess with this. I'll kind of pull out like some berries in a second because in my head I'm still thinking, well, I can be random. It's okay. I can do the randomness. And I'm going to end up sticking those on top of that friggin' flower up there, and y'all, that doesn't stay. I'm like, what are you doing? This looks honestly a little tacky. I don't want to say what I think it looks like initially here after I do this. I go, oh no, that's not going to work. So I take those off and I end up with a little blue star, and that doesn't look bad. I kind of offset it from the bottom just a tad. And then that's when I decide, you know what, let me get over into my puffy stickers. I think that's when I decide. I can't remember now if it's now or if I do the buttons first. Because I'll grab a couple buttons too in just a second. Maybe I do the puffy stickers first because I'm kind of contemplating here, y'all. This is where I'm kind of going, okay, what now? And this is where I pull out the puffy stickers and I find a little bow. I think that's too cute. That looks good there. And I pull out a house, and in my head, it's because I'm thinking to myself, I like to decorate my house. And again, it's a little bit random, but I like it. It's going to go right there on the corner, kind of filling that. And then I'm going to find another tiny little flower on the right-hand side. It's a little yellow flower. I'm going to put that on the right-hand side. And then I'll find one more tiny, tiny little flower that I'm going to put in the upper left of the photograph. They're so small, but they're so cute. They're just a little sprinkle of fun. Anyways, okay, so I'm going to put my little flower there. And, oh, I think I find one other chipboard or little puffy thing. It's got a round circle with a flower on it. That goes on top of the swan there. So I've got all those little pieces, and I think this might be where I find the buttons. I decided I'm going to grab some buttons here, and I like how these look. These colors go real well. I pull out 3 buttons. I'm just going to, again, kind of making this visual triangle here. One has the little coral color on it. Then I have a little green one with coral, and then I pull a little pink scallopy looking one. And that looks pretty good. I'm kind of looking at this. I'm going, okay, this looks pretty good, but I'm going to end up having to add some ink. I'm going to set my think I glued this stuff down. I'm kind of curling up the edge of that torn paper there just a little bit more. But in just a second, I'm going to decide, no, I need some ink. So I'm going to set things down for just a second and run over to my little shelf here. And I'm going to grab my Mr. Huey's opaque white. And I'm going to end up sprinkling that again where my clusters are. I have to cover my photo. I don't want it all messed up. And it comes out pretty good. It does take a minute to dry, so I actually end up dropping my buttons right on top of it, but I may cut that out. I don't remember. It doesn't mess it up, though, so it's okay. And that, oh, there it is. See, I dropped it right on top of that. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I will actually, before I took the little slow down here, I did write my 10 random things, and you can kind of see the close-ups there. Let me see if I can read them to you real quick. I wrote, I love chai tea lattes, really love massages, have purple hair ends, I have 6 tattoos, I hate doing laundry, I love to decorate, I rock the charcuterie, I do Herbalife, I get migraines, and I'm scared of heights. So that's my 10 random facts. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.